Good morning, welcome. Good morning, welcome. Thanks for being patient as we're a couple minutes late. We appreciate you all. Welcome to July's installment of the Church of Direct Experience with the Temple of Wholeness. Welcome, welcome as everyone's coming in. I just mentioned, given that we're running a little bit behind, we're going to forego the beautiful music and just start rolling today. As most of you know who are repeat receivers of the code transmission, we are the Temple of Wholeness. This is code, the Church of Direct Experience, where we give you a monthly opportunity to be in connection, community, and communion with that which is most true, most beautiful, and most good. Today we have a very exciting topic that I've been thinking about deeply, and that's the nature of good's triumph over evil. So just so you know, the format of today, we'll start with this brief introduction. We'll hand the baton over to Amber for an attunement where we can drop into our bodies, start to feel, notice, and connect with what's happening inside. I will take the reins for a little bit of teaching and then practices where we can really examine and embolden and embody goodness so that we can understand the nature of the experience of good versus evil in our own lives, in the world, and in the universe at large, and really feel like we are more energetically and metaphysically aware, wise, and capable for handling this very peculiar modern moment that we're in. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but it's quite a strange moment. And then lastly, we'll have a brief community section so that we can provide what we actually think is the most important part, which is people of like mind, like heart, and like soul connecting with each other and strengthening the bonds of our own awareness, internal power, sovereignty, capability, and strength. And then we will send you off into the world on this beautiful Sunday to be basking in the glow of what we have created here. So that's the context. And given that, we will start with Amber.
Thank you so much, Matt, and hello, everyone. Wonderful to be with you always. So, inviting us to begin by just closing our eyes. And as we close our eyes, beginning to deepen the breath, and with each inhale, intending that you are drawing more of your essential energy into the core of your body. So, beginning to draw it from all of the other spaces, conversations you've engaged in prior to this moment. Drawing it back in, allowing yourself to potentize your presence into this moment. And with each exhale, allowing your energy begin to sink and settle down to the base of the pelvis, discovering how much more you can give over to the surface that is supporting you with each out-breath, allowing the sense of arrival into the here and now with each breath. And starting at the base of the spine, feeling the sense of rootedness, the sit bones clicking down like magnets towards the earth, feeling that solid connection downwards. And then from the base, beginning to breathe upwards, allow the spine to strengthen as you breathe from below, drawing that breath all the way up through the central channel and all the way to the crown of the head, and feeling that gentle lifting at the crown. And from that lifting, let everything relax around this integrity, this straightened spine holding you upwards. Beginning to connect with yourself as this receiver, like an antenna. And from the crown, lifting your awareness up a few feet above the head, allowing your gaze to look upwards as if you can look up and out of the crown, And let your energy just gently lift upwards. And in this lifting upward, shifting our gaze above, we begin to join more fully with this current of the golden source stream, this life stream flowing downwards. And allowing this funnel, this incoming funnel, to widen, opening the crown of the head as if it could yawn open to receive more fully this incoming eminent stream. And with the next in-breath, begin to breathe and receive downwards into the crown of the head. Breathing this golden source stream down through the central channel and breathing it fully into the heart. Allow the heart to expand as it receives the breath, and suspending the breath at the top of the inhale for a few seconds, allowing the energy to build and gather here at the heart, drinking it in as nourishment. And as you exhale, releasing the breath and relaxing downwards as that stream flows down through the root, reaching downwards towards the earth, and allowing it like a waterfall to wash through you into the earth. With the next in-breath, begin to breathe upwards from the earth, receiving through the base of the spine, drawing up the stream of the earth's nourishment, visualizing it as a cool blue plasma, soothing, smoothing, and drawing that up into the heart. Once again, suspend the breath at the heart, allowing the heart to receive the nourishment of the earth. And as we exhale, allowing that earth's energy to continue moving upwards from the heart, fountaining up and out of the crown of the head like a gushing geyser of energy. And as it fountains up, it flows back down around the body in the pattern of the toroidal field, back towards the earth. Now, once again, receiving a breath from above and allowing this widening of the central channel to occur as you breathe more energy down with the next breath, actively receiving again into the heart. Feeling the heart drawing the energy deeply into your core. And again, suspend the breath, allowing the energy to pack itself inwards, filling you from within. And as we exhale, again, relaxing, releasing the energy downwards, let it flow like a waterfall. Cleansing and clearing as it flows downward back into the earth, saturating the earth beneath you with this energy. And allowing this current to release through you anything that you've carried into this moment that is not serving you. And one more breath from below, breathing and receiving upwards this soothing energy of the earth. Drinking it like a straw from the base of the spine up through the central channel, and again, drinking it into the heart. Suspending the breath, pausing in this moment between breaths to receive inwards. And exhale, releasing the energy back up, flowing back out of the crown of the head. Again, like a geyser, a fountain, up and out, flowing back down around the body and back down towards the earth. Now allowing your awareness to come to rest at the center point of the heart. And simply breathing in and out of the center, holding your focus here. With each in-breath, feel that drawing deeply inwards. Really allowing yourself to locate this point in space as vividly as possible. As you focus into this point and feel that drawing inwards with each breath, Feeling yourself rooting into the infinite stability available here in the core of your being. And with each out breath, allowing the spherical ripple to emanate from the center of your heart. Relaxing and softening open with each out breath, creating more space. Each in-breath, an active receiving of all that is required for you in this moment to feel balanced, harmonized, at ease in your own skin. And with each exhale, allowing that ripple of your essential soul signature tone to ripple through every particle of your body, beyond the body, into the space surrounding you. So gathering with each in-breath, receiving, and offering with each out-breath all that you are. It's a blessing into the space that you find yourself in, and allowing that ripple to extend infinitely beyond the space that you're in. Rippling through all of the particles, all of the life. And now adding a layer of focus here at the heart, of beginning to generate whatever feeling tone feels correct for you in this moment, to amplify. And that may be appreciation, perhaps it's peace, joy, compassion, forgiveness, strength. Whatever tone it is that you identify is most serving for you in this moment, focusing on generating that genuine feeling tone from the center of your heart. And with each in-breath, as you breathe into this feeling tone, allowing it to grow stronger, more vivid with each breath. Each exhale distributes that feeling tone, expanding it wider. Allowing yourself the opportunity to demonstrate your capacity to generate the states of being that you are choosing to generate, regardless of whatever the conditions may be at this time. Remembering the agency we have as creators. Letting go of any illusion that we have any control over the circumstances, the conditions. But restoring our capacity to be in command over how we respond to the conditions that are present. From the internal state of being that we choose to cultivate, that we choose to stabilize. Allowing ourselves to access the infinite resource that is available here in the core of our being. Connected to source and spirit, grounded into the earth. Centered in who and what we are in truth. And allowing ourselves to recognize that in this moment of ever-increasing chaos in the world situation, the conditions that are seemingly beyond our control, that as we choose to stabilize here in the true resource, in who and what we are, that we are best positioned to respond to any conditions that arise from the most centered, capable, and clear place. It is from this state that the solutions to every challenge we face are best accessed, become most apparent. So we'll allow a few moments of silence here to complete, listening deeply to anything that your soul wishes to transmit to you in this moment from this space. Listening to any guidance that may be available for anything that we face in our life in this moment. Just opening the internal listening from a state of receptivity. And to complete this attunement, I invite each and every one of us to offer appreciation to ourselves for the choice that each one here is making to be awake inside of this collective dream, to access the divine resources that are available here and now, and to be agents of midwifing this collective birth, of ushering across this threshold. And just let yourself drink in that appreciation. Allow it to fortify you. And with that, we allow our eyes to gently open into the space, maintaining a soft, receptive gaze as we shift over to the transmission that Matt has to share with us today. Thank you.
Mm, delightful and delicious as always. Thank you so much. All right. Today's conversation is a very interesting one. And I want to preface by saying that these code experiences, these monthly free transmissions, our intent is to create as much buoyancy and light and as much generativity and deep nourishment as possible. And that's often accomplished by just focusing on those things that are objectively and clearly good and true and beautiful. And there are also certain times that we need to get smarter and more capable around the things that are not that. So, as we look at this balance of really generating good's triumph over evil, we actually need to understand a little bit about evil. And again, I know most of what we've talked about has been in more of the positive and fun side of the universe. But I want to share a couple things today just to increase our spiritual intelligence so that we know what we're up against and what we're working with. So some of this I'm going to read because it's very specific. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm actually teaching a master class on evil tomorrow. It's going to be a 3 hour master class. And all of that is available to you. If you're interested, we can share the information later. So this is 4 principles that we're going to look at. And then the experience of embodying this that I'm going to lead you through, I'll give some kind of understanding of what that is so we can all be very aware of what we're doing, and also in right choice and real conscious awareness about that. So these 4 things that we're looking at around evil and goodness. So evil is a subset of phenomena and events and behaviors that exist within the broader context of goodness. So that means that if we look at reality, if we look at the world outside, if we look at all of the cosmos, it is in its most absolute nature God. God is uncorruptible. God is unbroken. God is never evil. And as the rays of emanation from what some of the traditions call the Godhead, which is perfect and absolute, move down through the layers of reality to experience itself in light and dark, good and bad, black and white, left and right. There has to be differentiation, and that's where good and evil starts to show up. So we can always take refuge in the heart of God and know that that part of ourselves that is divine is always safe, is always whole, and is always pure. That's number one. Number two is goodness seeks to express in peace and harmony. But like tending to a garden, that peace and harmony must be protected with wisdom and strength. So, as we're in these more dualistic parts of reality, we have to recognize that if we want a garden, we have to protect against weeds. And part of our capability and our sovereignty is having the wisdom and the will to tend a garden. And we can do that in beautiful and in caring ways, but we can't become myopic and ignore the fact that there are weeds. Number three, goodness must have strategies for all seasons. And there are social seasons and individual seasons. And in spring and summer, when the energy is high, there's much light, much growth, much vitality, much energy. Perhaps the forces of evil are not as strongly at play or need to be tended to. But in late autumn and winter, when the darkness is higher and larger, because we're in realms where there is oscillation and where there is duality, we need to focus on holding that purity, that grace, and that peace with strength. This is one of the things that I talk about with people often in the spiritual community is we do so much to cultivate openness and sensitivity to the divine. And part of what we also get to create is more strength so that we can hold the boundary for that. And then lastly, all of these actions exist within a collective, and each individual within the collective has their own worldviews, values, and perspectives on good and evil. So, part of where people on their journey to wholeness get tripped up is assuming that if they be the embodied expression of good all the time, that everyone around them will perceive them as good and not as anything other than good. And that is simply not the case. And we get to hold the truth that our goodness, if it is in our best capability, intent, alignment, wisdom, power, and strength, if it is the truest truth in our heart, it is unmarred in the light of God, regardless of other people's experience. So, this is an opportunity to recognize that we get to be strong, we get to be bold, we get to be a stand for what is true. And other people may or may not see that, and we still get to love them. We still get to hold them with care. We still get to have our prayer for them and for the world. And that's really important because we don't want to be knocked off our path and confused because of the confusion of other people. So, those are some of the principles that we're playing with today. Now, I want to lead us through an experience, and the experience that we're crafting today has 6 principles. I'll go through them much more quickly. I just went through those 4 that needed a little bit more explanation. So, the first is we align with the divine and the grace and the wisdom and the love under its auspices. So we seek to align to that absolute truth of God, that absolute truth of the divine, that absolute truth of the most good in all of reality. The second is we choose to intentionally and willfully cast out undue influence. So anything that is not that, we intentionally say no to with enough love in our heart, but forcefulness and unshaking voice that it must pay attention. The third is that we claim our own forever internal sovereignty, our internal sovereignty that cannot be marred by action, by circumstance, by any energy that happens to be arising in the moment. Our sovereignty, because it is God's sovereignty within us, is forever enduring. Number 4, we claim dominion over our experience at all levels of our interaction with reality. So we claim that we walk with power as we move through society, as we interact with other people, that we can control and have direct experience of our own power in our life, despite the fact that there are other people around us, and we choose to bring our light to those who can receive it and love those who cannot, and not offer our light in a way that detracts from us or takes from us or drains us in ways that we would not choose. Number 5 is we will practice energizing, embodying, and strengthening our own inner sovereign experience. So we will become strong enough in our life and in the world to manage our mission. Because I believe if you're on this call, you, like us, are on a mission to make the world into the place that we know that it desires to be, which is fundamentally more good, more whole, more true, more beautiful. Number 6, we own that we have the capacity to perform evil as a being in a dualistic realm, but we only choose to do good. This is very important because if we say that there is never the capacity for evil inside of me, we pull ourselves out of reality and we actually take away our humanity and we try to force all of evil out there, and then we are always at odds. So if we recognize I have capacity and choice, and my consistent choice is for love, my consistent choice is for good, my consistent choice is for wholeness, then we recognize that we are part and parcel of the universe, and like God, we can hold all things within us, but we act from that which is most loving. We act from that which is most light, and we act from that which is most life giving. So, those are our principles from which we are crafting this experience today. I wanted you to all be aware of them so that you could be in conscious participation. And if any part of you recognized these are not true for me, that you could have the capacity to say no. You could exercise your own sovereignty and power and choice, and you could be in your own awareness. Part of what we recognize at the Temple of Wholeness is we never want to force a truth that isn't accurate for you into your experience, because that's how religions of control start. We don't choose to be a religion or a spiritual institution of control. We choose to be a spiritual institution of consent, which means that you get to fully participate and really own the truth for yourself and really find where that truth lives inside of you, inside of your life, inside of your beingness. So, all of that being said, if these fundamentals are true for you, this is a deep invitation into this process and into this claiming of goodness over any evil in your life. So, please once again close your eyes, find that stillness and that peace that Amber helped us to cultivate. Find that place where you just were before I so rudely interrupted with all those mind ideas and thoughts. And from that place of this first principle of aligning to the divine, I'm going to invite you to find the most whole, the most loving, the most empowered place in the universe that you can find. So let your seeking wisdom mind find that place in the universe that is whole, that is loving, that is wise, that is powerful. That place is divinity. And recognize that just by seeking and finding that divinity, it is with you and in you. And because of your nature and ability to seek and find at will, even when your attention is not on this, it is always with you. The divine is always present, always amplified, always loving, always powerful. Even when it's not where your attention happens to be resting. And let yourself fill up with that truth. Let yourself merge the boundaries of observation and individual self drop away as you merge into that power, that love, that wisdom of all that is. And know that I am, that I am, that I am. The God that I am, too I am. As it is, so am I. No boundary, no separation. And in this way, we inhabit and embody all of reality. We are the love. We are the wisdom. We are the empowerment within all reality, all the cosmos, all of the other humans, beings, and entities. This too am I. The more we come to this place, the more of a well-worn groove we wear back here the more we demarcate the path in our awareness, in our energetics, in our neurology, to this being the truth. And if you feel the freedom here, outside space, outside time, persistently and forever existing and simultaneously and paradoxically arising from nothing, that freedom is your own sovereignty. That too is within you, through you, around you, and emanating within all of reality at all times. So God's own freedom, the divine's own freedom, is present here now in you, in me, in us all, in it all. From that place of deep empowerment, deep wisdom, and deep love, as we start to acknowledge the more dualistic realms, we choose to tend the garden by casting out anything that is not in alignment with us for that, anything that is predatory or parasitic, whether conscious or unconscious, anything that is not for our mission, for our highest good, for our greatest truth, gets to return itself to its own place of origin, return to its own mission, gets to recuse itself of its engagement in our life. And as we tend the garden of our heart, of our mind, and our body, we pull the weeds and return them to their own place where they might be on their own evolutionary journey, moving to their own experience of absolute love, absolute truth, and absolute beauty. And as we participate in this garden, acknowledging the dualism, we choose to hold the power and the energy of that absolute awareness of the divine in this dualistic realm. We choose to hold God's insight, the capacity for love of the divine, the capacity for wisdom, for care, for nurturance of the divine. We hold and embody that level of strength. We breathe it in with each inhalation. We solidify it and hold it with each exhalation. Inhaling that strength and capacity, holding as we exhale, so that each breath in this dualistic realm, you become more capable, more embodied, more empowered, more divine, despite the fact that we are operating in this earthly plane. Lastly, we recognize within us is the capacity for not love, the capacity for not strength, the capacity for not wisdom, and the capacity for not wholeness. Because the divine cares so much for us, we are gifted with these capacities to find our choice, to be loving, to be strong, to be capable, to be caring, to be emboldened on our mission to craft the world more in the likeliness and likeness of the divine itself. We recognize that we are human. We recognize that we are divine. We recognize that we are nature. And in that triple, we choose to express the divine through our humanity. We choose to express the divine through our aspect as nature. We don't ignore anything that is dualistic, and we tend our garden so that we may be examples of those transcendent and beautiful things here on earth for ourselves and our flourishing. And that flourishing is on all levels of health in the body, vitality in the body, openness of the heart, wisdom of the mind, strength of relationship and relating, capacity financially, on our mission in the world. All of these things held in the light of the Absolute are good, consecrated, sanctified, and chosen by us. And we choose to overflow them into nature, to flourish nature in the same way that nature flourishes us. We choose to give from our overflow, from the sanctity of our tended garden, to those who would help to grow and assist our garden, the garden of our mission, of our health, of our well-being and our wholeness. And we choose to tend, pull the weeds, return them back to their right place. This is not a struggle. This is not a fight. Good does not fight evil. Good stands in strength and power, in boundary, in dominion, in claiming. And like a parent, returns evil actions back to their place, does not permit them again. So we'll take these next few breaths to let this permeate into every molecule, every electron, every quark, every muon, every quantum bit, into all of your cells. Each breath structuring the intelligence, the coherence and cohesion of your entire being, structuring the water so that it's coherent, detoxifying and eliminating anything that is not for you, strengthening our tissues, emboldening our body, and then stretching into your energetics, letting all of your energy bodies hold this truth like a diamond heart. All of these bodies empowered, capable, claiming all of these energies, capable, buoyant, fun, expansive, and by emanation in the divine's plan in the most right way for which you are designed for this mission, emanating that out into all of your reality. Breathing that truth in, and lastly claiming, this is my birthright. I came here to remember this, and by knowing this, I walk my path. I serve humanity. I fulfill my mission. Breathing that in, few less breaths. Oh, oh, beautiful. Coming back to this space, coming back to this space, coming back to this space. Great work. This was a beautiful, potent, and powerful field that you all created. We love and appreciate you. We're proud of this work you're all doing. Thank you so much.